Good morning and welcome to the 𝗦𝗵𝗲 Show. We are so grateful to have you with us each and every morning. Why? Because you know what? 80% is showing up, and we love that you guys always show up because we get to implore our knowledge to you so that you can have an amazing life, successful life in life and in business. So that's what it's all about. And today, friends, I'm going to be leading the conversation. And today I'm going to be talking about worthy ideal. But before I get into that, we want to welcome you. My name is Alka.
My name is Ria,
and welcome to
our show.
So, friends, let me share my screen before we get started. And so today I'm going to be talking about, I've already talked about this before, but I just want to make sure every time when I talk about, topics, I want to make sure that you are absolutely 100% on board as to when it comes to the mind, it is very important. So every step from the chapters that I've been talking about, and if you remember, it's been a while, so that's why I just want to refresh. I talked about worthy ideal. And so I just want to go back to that so that I want to do a refresher. What is your worthy ideal? Now, when I talked about this, your worthy ideal is, I'll put it into context. So your worthy ideal simply is what are the goals that you have right now? So remember, there were the 3 types of goals that we have. And so those 3 types, I'll just refresh again. So number 1, there was the A-type goal. Number 2, you have your B-type. And number 3, the most important, is the C-type goal. And why is the C-type goal most important? Because the C-type goal is, so if you recall when I mentioned that, everything that, on this planet, whether it comes to our goals, whether it's, what we are wanting in our career, what are we wanting? So everything is got to do with vibration and the vibration that you are in. So say, for example, I'm taking the analogy of a radio station, right? So if you are listening to the AM dial, which is, let me just illustrate that for you, actually, so you know what I'm talking about. So say, for example, this is your AM station, you're here, right? And you want to get to the FM. So you need to really be on the higher frequency to measure your goal, because there's no point if you are here and you are desiring, say, 100K a month, right, in your job or in your business, that's what you're acquiring, 100K a month, but you are here. And to get to 100K, that is a huge leap. So what do you need to do? You need to be in the vibration, because everything that we do is on the vibration, and this is the path that, so that's what your worthy ideal comes in. And what is important to know here, so I want you to, distinguish as to where are you right now in your life? Where are you right now when it comes to your goals? Where are you right now as to when you, every day, when you look at, look at where you are and to where you want to go? So let me give an example. So the example could be I don't know, maybe you want to have a car, right? And that car that you want is say it's a Mercedes. So you have Mercedes, and say if I asked you, okay, well, what car do you want? And you say to me, you want a Mercedes. And then I ask you, well, how long has it been since you've had the Mercedes? And you say to me, well, you've got the Mercedes now. So if you can see the, have that distinction, I said to you, okay, what is your goal? And your goal was to get a car. And I said to you, what car do you want? You said to me, you want a Mercedes. I asked you, what car do you have right now? The answer could be, I don't have a car. The answer could be, I'm waiting to get a car. But you said to me, you have a Mercedes. So that is by having that. And let me just clarify that when I said to you, what car do you have right now? You said to me, you have a Mercedes. So that is your A-type goal, because your A-type and your B-type goal, why your A-type and B-type goal should be eradicated. Why? Because there is no passion. There is no, what's that word? There is no drive. There is no motivation, pretty much. There's no motivation to get a Mercedes because you already have it. So that's why your A-type and B-type goals are not the goals you want. Your goals, they are not the goals you want, because if you already have something, then what are you desiring for, right? So that's why it makes perfect sense that if you don't want to focus on your A-type and your B-type goals, you don't want to focus on something you already have. Rather, you want to focus on where you are right now to where you want to go. That is what's exciting. That's what's so exciting about the C-type goal, because your C-type goal is you're worthy. You're worthy of achieving that goal. And so the C-type goal, you know what? I'm just gonna highlight that. I'm just gonna highlight this in pink. So your C-type goal is the goal that you want. And I'm just going to illustrate this to you. And how, okay, so then you might ask yourself, okay, so if my goal is to get to have the C-type goal, what I'm worthy of achieving, how do I achieve that? Well, if you recall, I also mentioned what you can do, and these are some of the tools that will actually get you. This is currently what I do. So the tools that I use is to visualize. Now, visualization and imagination, they're absolutely fantastic tools. And there are tools that, when I began to practice this, it truly is just mind-blowing, because you will see okay, so let me just go back a bit. So when we were kids, we used to look out the window in the classroom, right? We would look out the window, we would daydream, we would, we would imagine just being out there in the playground, playing with our friends. We would imagine. And it's so unfortunate when we get into adulthood, we lose the sense of plainness. We'll lose the sense of imagination. And that's why imagination and visualization are two very important tools, because your imagination, learn to imagine as far as possible that you can, that your mind can allow you to go. And this is how you can really utilize and imagine you are in your C-type goal. So let's take, for example, okay, so what could be the example of a C-type goal? Your C-type goal could be, it could be the car that you want, as I mentioned. It could be the house that you are desiring. What is that house? And when you imagine, I want you to also, paint it in words. Because the more that, that's why this chapter, I really want to you know, just clarify and, you know, come back to this, because before I go on to chapter 2 and up to chapter 12, there's lots to cover. But, you know, I want to stay with this, because if you are not clear on what your goals are, if you are not clear how to get to your 𝗔𝗹𝗶 goals, what you need to do, then I cannot go any further. So I always want to go back to the track, so that you absolutely understand what you need to do, how you can get there, what are the tools that I use, what you can use, so that you can really get to your 𝗔𝗹𝗶 goals. So I also want to illustrate this very further too, is say for example, we look at you know, so as I said, you know, your A type and your B type goals. This is absolutely, you do not want to, you don't want to spend your time and energy on this, because if you were to have something, then that's not a worthy goal. So if, say for example, your goal is here, right? This is your goal. So the X marks the spot. This is your goal, and this is your A type goal is here, and your B type goal is here. As we said, we don't want to spend time on that. So basically, people who already know, right? People who already achieved to what they want, the car, as I illustrated earlier on. If you already have the car that you want, the Mercedes, right? Then you know, then you are in that knowing part, right? So that is the conscious part of your mind. So you already know how to get there. You already know what you did to get that Mercedes. So illustrating it further is your A and your B type goals, right? You already know what you did to get them, but your C type goal is what's going to take you to what you want. So to get to your C type goal, you want to get to your C type goal, right? This is what we want. To get to your C type goal, you have to fantasize, you have to be in that subconscious part of your mind, right? Your subconscious part, as I illustrated in the stick figure. I'm just going to illustrate that again. So the stick figure, and he was a very famous psychologist. So this is your subconscious mind, this is your body. Your body is the instrument of your mind, and this is your results. So what you're putting out there, what you put out is pretty much what you're going to get back. So if you, from your subconscious, what you are thinking on your subconscious level, you know, your affirmations, as I mentioned as well, what you are affirming to yourself every single day. How do you show up? You know, are you always in a negative frame of mind? How are you? How, you know, our moods totally affect us and how we are every single day, right? So, but what your subconscious mind, and this is where your worthy ideal absolutely lies in your subconscious mind, and your body is the result of your subconscious, because whatever thoughts you are employing in your mind, in your subconscious, is directly affected to your body, because your body is the instrument of your mind. And so I'm just going to put that. So your body is the instrument of the mind. And so what do I mean by this? Well, what do I mean is that your body, what we are feeling internally, is going to affect how we operate on the conscious and how we operate on the subconscious. So that's why, and whatever we are feeling, whatever thoughts that we put out there into our subconscious, into our conscious mind, then that automatically translates to the results that we have. So you always want to be in check with the thoughts that you're putting out there, because the thoughts that you put out there are absolutely going to be determined by your results that you will get. And, so your worthy ideal, your worthy goal, are your goals worthy of you? So pretty much this chapter talks about, are you worthy of your goals? So I'm just gonna go back to what I was talking about. So today I talked about your worthy ideal. So are you worthy of your goals? Are you worthy of what you are putting out into the universe to really attract what it is you want? And so I stated that there were 3 types of goals that we have. We have the A-type goal, the B-type goal, and the C-type goal is where you want to aim for. You want to aim for the C-type goal. Why? Because your C-type goal is the goal that excites you. It is bigger than you are. It's bigger than you and me. So if your goal is bigger than you and I, then that's exciting, right? It's exciting to me. So I'm sure it's exciting to you. So we always want to focus on the C-type goal, because that's where it's exciting, and that's when we are going to be worthy of achieving those goals. And then I said, okay, so if you are here, the X marks the spot, you are on the AM frequency, and you want to get to the FM frequency, what do you need to do? You want to be in a higher vibration. And you might ask me, well, how do I get to be in the higher vibration? You need to be in the higher vibration by, the tools that I mentioned, by utilizing those tools, visualize and meditate. You can listen to beautiful music. I love music, and music, it absolutely is the best. You want to listen to, classical music. I love classical music. And that is what you need to be in, always in the high vibration. So the tools that I use, that you can use, is visualize, imagination, be creative, think outside the box. How can you imagine? What are you imagining? And let your brain just run wild, because we used to do that when we were kids, right? We didn't care about the world. We just used to imagine. So, come back to your childhood and learn how to imagine, play a little bit. So as I said, your A-type goals and your B-type goals, we definitely do not want to be in that place, because there is no excitement in that. Because if you already achieve something, you already have something, there is no 100% excitement in having that. So then I talked about the model about, which is illustrated by Veni psychiatrist, who came up with this stick model. And it is absolutely powerful, because it truly tells you and tells us about where we are in the plane of the conscious, the subconscious mind, and how the body truly is affected by our mental capacity, right? And the results that we achieve from that. So I hope that this truly highlighted to you all again. And I don't mind coming back to this, because I absolutely love talking about this, because once we get to really experience how we are utilizing our mind to the best of our capacity, to the best of our abilities, then things can start to fall into place. So, I'm just going to stop there, because I know there was a lot to take in. There was a lot to digest, but I hope that, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer your questions, because I know there's a lot when it comes to your mind. Ria, you might have some questions, and I'm sure, guys, if you do have any questions, just drop it in the chat, and we'll love to get back to you when we can. Ria, do you have anything you want to share? Can hear.
Yes, thank you for sharing, Alka. It sounds like that I have to guard my mind. whether it's subconscious and conscious mind. It's very powerful. Like the mind, I need to protect it.
That we always want to be in. And so, say for example, as I illustrated, we could be on a high vibration, and someone could come along. Anyone could just come along, but they might just kind of rattle your mind a little bit. Then that's it. That's going to like take you away. So always guard it, always protect it. But just, what you can do is just, let those people just let it out, but always be on that plane.
And then I guess if we have those hit from other people, right? Because it's not always perfect at all times. We have good days and bad days. I guess the tools that you suggested would be, number one is to meditate. And then when we're able to, spring forth from that down moment, then you said visualize and imagine.
Yes, absolutely. Those are tools I absolutely love. And so, utilize that.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So guys, we have come to the end of another exciting show. And, we hope that you took a lot of information, because there's a lot to digest. I do understand. But if you have any questions in the meantime, just drop it in the chat. We'd love to, discuss with you if there's any questions that you have. And, feel free to just drop it in. But, just take care of just implementing on what we talk about, because, knowledge is one thing, but you need to implement and absolutely take care of what you are doing. So guys, so in the meantime, make the rest of the day the best of the day, and we will see you tomorrow.